Pucker up.
Get your ass up.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Blah Blah Show numero 2 on your internet dial. You're listening to the nappy, slappy, happy sounds of Pucker Up, a song done by three brothers along the lines of the band Death, who was just rediscovered. Here's another band that has not been discovered yet. Let me just turn
Yet to be.
and we'll get into our guest here, our amazing guest. We'll just hear a little bit more of this. Don't pucker up in any old place.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that song in a long time.
All right. Blah Blah Show number 2.
Oh, what a way to start.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd surprise you with that.
That was great.
Now, kids, today's guest is the one and only Mr. Humility, Mr. Genius musician, who I fortunately happen to know very well. We've become friends over the years.
That is true.
Mr. Ted Purnell Bound. Is that okay if I use your middle name? 'Cause I can cut that.
Drop it. You can drop that on the radio.
Oh, I dropped it like it was snot.
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to this ending. Here at the ending.
Wow. That's scary.
It says, I think that 2XL is broken. 2XL was jamming out. All right. Again, if we haven't said already, Blah Blah Show number 2.
Numero dos.
Numero dos. And what is this show? What are you listening to? Well, you're listening to a show about basically the music industry, how it works from the inside, where it's going, where it's been, where it is right now. As I tell my daughter, yeah, honey, I do have a time machine. And she says, you do? I said, yeah, get in my time machine. Let's go to the present. It's not a very good time machine, but it'll take you to the present. So the music industry as it stands in the present, where we want it to go, where it might be going, where it's been.
Sometimes I don't know if you want to know where it's been.
Yeah, you really don't want to know where's that been?
Where has that been? What song are you gonna play?
Do you have any requests? Because I do have the new the Feel It that you guys just put out, which is a pretty standard pacifier song. You go to every pacifier show, they'll be playing Feel It, and it is
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that is such a great song. But you know what? I think my favorite. What do you think my favorite song is?
What do I think your favorite song is? Well, I don't know. I wrote a song sort of loosely based on the entry into the world of your daughter Opal back in 7 years ago, called "Leave the Lights On." I don't know if that's your favorite, but that one makes me think of you and your family the most.
Interesting.
And
yeah, no, that is my favorite song.
that is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, talk about that just a little bit more while I clumsily try to get the song on.
Well, it's I don't know, sort of just an encouraging, at one point it says it's a fight song. I'm not encouraging your daughter to fight people, but fight the power that be, as you would put it. Don't take no bullshit from nobody kind of thing. So It's just it's an aggressive riff rock driven tune that the riff was actually written by Adam Willis, our old keyboard player, but the lyrics and the message is going directly to her and other young people that are charging forward, doing what it is that they like doing, love doing. You got to do what you love.
Table, all you're able to bring. Forever Sable, don't you change a thing. Remove the label, let it shout, let it sing. Though it may be painful, it's not going anywhere. Might as well at face of the clock. Time is a block and we're building. Shake off the dust, scrape off the rust, that help all of us sing. Words of this song, sing them all night long without ever stopping. Leave all the lights on, this is a fight song, forever rolling and rocking. Rolling and rocking. Rolling and rocking. A favor, take pride in what you got. 30 hours of labor in a week, it's fine. In a day, it's not. Appreciate the flavor that you inherit from the top. Take time to savor the taste before it stops. It comes from within when you begin, not when you finish the race. Something you make, not a mistake. Something you cannot erase. You carry it through, it stays with you until you procreate. You give it to them, starts from the stem, forever rolling and rocking. Rolling and rocking. Rolling and rocking.
I guess part of that was written for my wife too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a very inspirational song to go after what you create and to create, be a creative being on the earth, because that's actually where true success is, in your heart and your mind, and actually financially.
For sure.
And
If you can make it financially.
Yeah, I mean, we're a nation of inventors, and the most successful people that are out there have dreamed up what they have. Not everybody falls into a pile of money. A lot of people in this country are wealthy because they made it so. But,
Exactly.
we're not speaking from a pile of money ourselves. But, yeah, beautiful song, and I really appreciate you writing that for my daughter.
Yeah, man. She
Hey.
was the first of the next generation.
She is, yeah. She's an amazing creative spirit herself. So if you hear in the background, Ted Bound is painting right now. So if you're wondering what that sound is, it's not a dog licking his leg or something being grinded.
Yes, that is true.
Those of you out there that, I really like this part. Sick, man. Yeah, and that, to really get the full scope, the full brunt of that rock and roll assault, you have to see Pacifier live. You just got to do it. So explain to us, Ted, where does Pacifier come from and how has it evolved over the years?
The drummer Nick and I met at art school in 2002 and just kind of started a band with no real intentions other than just to have a band and play in a band and be guys that are in a band and covering songs and playing bars and doing all the college whatever you'll give us kind of gigs. And that was early days with Ed on bass and Adam Willis on keys. And then fast forward like 5 years, Will took over on bizim and
Little brother Will.
Will Kubley, Nick's little brother, graduated high school and came and took over on bass when our second bass player, Tom Heat, who recorded with us on the first record, when he decided to leave the band, we asked if Will would join the band, and we had to ask Nick's parents if it was okay that we asked this 17-year-old kid to come out on the road with us. I guess he was 18 when he joined the band, but so then now, fast forward another 9 years, we've been touring nonstop nationally and recently internationally. And
You were lucky to get Will because there are many stories throughout music history where that's happened.
yeah,
Randy California Jimi Hendrix was begging Randy California, who I think was 16 at the time, to come with him, and his mom said no.
yeah.
So I'm sure Randy later on was like, "Damn, Mom."
Yeah, that's we're very lucky that the Kubleys said yes to that. They said take care of them and don't,
And it's good that they get along on the road because
Yeah.
some brothers it can get pretty rough.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know about that.
Yeah, we personally know about that, and also in the music world, I know the Black Crowes have had a lot of problems, a lot of fistfights in the recording studio, and so on.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of brother bands out there that you wouldn't even really know if you were just kind of a casual listener. But if you get more and more into the music, you kind of find out that a lot of bands have actually a rhythm section that, are like our rhythm section is brothers. It just kind of makes sense that two brothers would be what holds the backbone, the backbeat together.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be tight, It's got to be tight. So.
light is blinking and the stars are in the sky. Something saturated sinking beneath the surface of your eye. It's quite alarming and it's frightening. Your voice that makes me feel at ease. The atmosphere is so inviting. Would you come and join me if you please? I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Make everything out of sight. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Make everything out of sight. When the factory is open, the sun will see the other side. A sullen mystery approaching to take us all for a ride. It's opportunity that's wasted on the immediate response. It's our community that's pasted together, you and me. We could be the ones. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Make everything out of sight. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Make everything out of sight. Is finally broken and the truth can be revealed. So many foxes will be choking on the words they've concealed. From the eyes of the falcon, you can see the world below. In an attempt to see the outcome of a jungle that's left alone to grow. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Make everything out of sight. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Make everything out of sight. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Make everything out of sight. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Make everything out of sight.
That song, and by the way, that's from the Interval album that just came out recently. During or after or before, when did you guys start on that before the European tour, your first European tour? Because let me just add, that song reminds me, I've never been to Europe, but it takes me to Europe.
Okay.
Does it do that for you? For some reason, it's just, I feel like I'm in a airport, Heathrow Airport, or somewhere in Amsterdam. It's almost, I just hear that influence.
That song or the whole record?
Well, actually, the whole record, but that song in particular. I guess it's the way that what you're using on your voice.
Yeah.
It just has this kind of, I don't know, Euro-ness to it.
Yeah.
Newfound Euro-ness, but...
Like Euro trance pop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that could be an influence. We didn't go. We'd made all these before we went to Europe, so
perfect.
It wasn't necessarily a European influence, but
then I was right on the money as usual.
But I mean, we listened to the Gorillaz a lot. I know they're kind of like more mainstream Euro pop, but there's other pretty cool James Blake and some down tempo stuff that's like real playful with the vocal effects. Jamie Liddell is another vocal effects guy that we like to check out other styles and kind of bring them in every time we do a new record, bring in a new effect or a new thing that we're doing that's different, because we like to change it up a lot. And
yeah, there's a whole new genre of music opening up with using vocal effects.
Oh yeah,
it's I don't know how big it is yet, but I saw a band the other day using a vocoder for the entire song,
Yeah.
and it was badass.
That's kind of the effect that's on it, but it's like it's called Morphoder. Will kind of Will did that effect. He put that on there, and it's a plugin that he found called Morphoder.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know, it just sounded cool, so we went with it.
Well, the thing is, I was thinking about you being in Europe while I was listening to it, and I just kept imagining you guys in various airports for some reason when I hear that song.
We've been in a lot of airports and had that feeling we're not going to sleep. Like
Yeah.
Czech Republic, we did Italy to Czech Republic, then woke up the next morning like 6 a.m, Czech Republic, back to Germany, and did 2 shows in Germany back to back that same day. 4 shows in 3 days in 3 different countries.
And you're just so high on life that you're at the end of a gig, you can't go to sleep. You want to explore, you want to enjoy the hospitality you're getting from everybody, and you ran into a lot of that over in
Totally.
Europe.
The
Yeah,
hospitality was unbeatable. Like we had such a good reception, and even the smallest places, they always had like a snack and a drink waiting for us as soon as we got there. The whole production crew was like there and willing to help bring everything in, and it was like just seemed like for the most part everywhere we went was very well run, very everything was well executed.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
One day I'll make it over there. You've been all over the world. You've been to let's see, you've been to New Jersey. You've been to Australia. You've been to New Zealand. Right? Stop me if I'm wrong. Have you been to Asia yet?
No.
Have you guys been to Japan yet? I guess that's the next frontier, huh?
No, I've heard that they sell out records over there, but
I bet they love you in Japan. Hey, and if we have listeners in Japan, please leave a comment.
Yeah.
In fact, anybody leave a comment, because the only comment I've gotten so far is from the guest. I'm not sure how many people are out there listening. I guess it really doesn't matter. I'm not trying to boost my ego, but it would be nice to get something going here where we've got some global communication going on. That would be great.
Totally.
And by the way, for the podcast people, Ted has the rights to his music, and we are legally allowed to play this music. I guess I'll have to say that disclaimer every show. And also, I didn't announce it at the beginning of the show, and I really appreciate people for listening this far along. But you can find it at blablahshow.com or our sister site, dailynewscollective.com. We try to post a few major news stories there every day for you to peruse. It's kind of a news aggregate. Anyway, so let's go back. So we're kind of starting at the most recent, and let's go back to Vines. And is there a particular song you want to play for everybody off of that?
Man, yeah, because I want to play All in Our Minds off of that one. It's based off a quote that our dad said in an article when he left a publication that he was working for in Lexington. He got laid off. He said, "I don't want to work for the sake of bringing home a check. It's got to be a lot more to it." And that really rang true. It hit home when I read those words, and I was like, that's my dad saying that, and that's really, I can get behind that.
There's
for sure.
a lot more to life than meets the eye, and it's
totally.
I just read a comment this morning that stuck in my mind, and this is by no means a promoting any kind of socialist or communistic governmental idea. It's more of a bigger thought than that, but it adds to what my dad said.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was saying, if God made everything on the earth for us to use, why do we have to pay for it? Why do we have to struggle? Why do we have to spend our entire lives trying to get what's already been provided for us?
Right.
I don't wanna work for the sake of bringing home a check. Gotta be a lot more to it. I don't wanna play for the sake of gaining your respect. I just wanna play my music. Anyone who tries to take my given rights away can see the light of day. Only seeking darkness when life is hardest. Got to be an easy way. I don't wanna talk for the sake of hearing myself. I wanna be a positive influence. I don't wanna walk for the sake of tracing my steps. Future is a gate and I walk right through it. Anyone who tries to be uncompromised to me must not have eyes to see. Only confrontation, only concentration, finding my harmony. Anyone who tries to say there is a price to pay to keep death at bay only wants to profit from the illusion that you are never seen. But it's all in our minds, planted over time, grew into a vine that became intertwined. With everything we say, it happens every day, can be seen in the way we communicate. It's all in our minds, planted over time, grew into a vine that became intertwined. With everything we say, it happens every day. It's all in due time. It's all in due season. Regardless of right, regardless of I don't wanna work for the sake of bringing home a check. Gotta be a lot more to it. I don't wanna play for the sake of gaining your respect. Just wanna play my music.
All right.
All in Our Minds from the 20.
It's all up in there.
It's all up in your yawns from Pacifier's Vines album from 2013, and that was produced by the Butthole Surfer guitar virtuoso himself, Paul Leary.
Nah, Vines
No?
was
Vines?
mixed by Paul.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, we self-produced Vines.
Oh, okay.
Executive produced by Easy Star Records.
So he did start from scratch, and that was it, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
then we did the next one. We did Vines, kind of just on our own. A couple different trips to the studio instead of one like long production.
Right.
So
To the studios out in West Texas.
yeah, in
You guys,
Tornillo.
you guys
Sonic
love that
Ranch.
place. Yeah, it's like being on another planet.
It is. It's a musician's heaven.
Yeah, I've
It's-
seen pictures. It's pretty ridiculous. They have every conceivable instrument, amplifier, effect,
Yeah,
drum kit, keyboard. They got it all.
it's the real deal.
Got it going on. All right, so let's go back to Start From Scratch then from 2012. This one was produced by Paul Leary, who Paul Leary, for me, I can't quite play like Paul Leary. I don't think anybody can. But he's just like any other guitar player that has a real distinctive signature. You know it's him when he's playing. And, I highly recommend anybody out there, if you haven't listened to any of the Butthole Surfers albums and you just want to put them on, it will change your whole outlook for the day. Now, it may be a little bit too much for you to take in at once, but, once you do, you'll be having a good old time. And, of course, I live in Austin, Texas, home of the Butthole Surfers, and Paul is just an astonishing guitar player. I rank him up there with Jimmy.
He's a local celebrity down there. He's a celebrity. He's a world celebrity, but
he's a good guy too, man.
Totally.
So how was he in this? How was he in this? Because he's anti all the music industry bullshit. He's like tries really hard to be just a real person.
Yeah, I mean that's what he was. He was just a person in the studio that was kind of directing us toward the sound that we were going for, which was like super helpful in a situation where, the first time we were going out, we were doing this record on our own record label, and we wanted it to be legit enough for us to like kind of leave the connections we had with Law Records and start fresh. And we kind of, through meeting Pepper and Silverback and stuff, we met Paul through that. So we maintained a good relationship with them, and Paul was kind of brought on to give us just like, the direction to make this first like next, I guess, sophomoric approach. And it was cool. He has a great knowledge of what tones are supposed to sound like when you're going for a certain tone, how to actually get it quickly without having to sit there and fuss around with pedals and amps and stuff. Like he was able to find the stuff we were looking for quickly, and just cool dude to bounce ideas off of. Cause sometimes he'd be like, whatever you're feeling, which is, you hire a producer thinking that they're going to tell you what to do the whole time. But, I went into it not really wanting that, to be told what to do the whole time. And he kind of took a step
Sorry,
back
we're putting reverb on the bass drums and the kick drums. And that's the way it's going to be. That's the way we do it. That's how bloody Led Zeppelin did it, and that's the way I recorded it for him. So I'm sorry.
Exactly, yeah.
None of that.
Yeah, none of that. We didn't want none of that. But he kind of just said, "Oh, you want that? Here's how we get that." It was more of a
tour guide, sonic tour guide.
Exactly, sonic tour guide is a good way to put it.
How cool is that, man?
Yeah,
that's incredible. Well, I was wrong. Start From Scratch. The remix came out in 2012, which has a sick remix of Start From Scratch, the title track on it. But I want to play, I don't know if you know this, I want to play my favorite song. It'll be a surprise from Start From Scratch. So here we go.
Okay.
We looked all over, searched
That song's a real hot tamale.
Thanks.
And it really, you know, y'all's message coming out of Savannah, Georgia, originally is just a positive message that I think you gleaned from your first influence that really woke you up had to be Bob Marley.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you.
Oh, no. I mean, I physically woke you up. It's time for school. No, if we haven't announced that already, big announcement. I'm Ted's older brother, John. Hi, nice to meet you. And I can say a little bit, you know, my experience growing up with you was you've always been doing this, man. You know, since you were going to.
Thanks to you guys.
Well, we like to say, you know, you have 3 older brothers, and we tried to pioneer as best we could in the music world, and then had to go and had kids and had to go out and get regular jobs and what have you. But we always refer to you as our Frankenstein monster, you know, because you were always coming with questions. You've always been interested in that artistic side, and it wasn't like it almost wasn't like a choice with you. It's like you just always, that's you.
Yep.
You know? And since you were a teenager, you've been making records. So
It's true also.
You know, now what are we looking at? 11 years of Pacifier?
Pacifier?
Yeah.
Well, we started the band in 03, so it'll be 12 years in
12
February,
years.
or 13 years in February.
It's been a long road, but
Yeah, it has.
man, you guys are. What are you doing now? Are you still painting?
Yeah.
Is that spray painting?
No, there's construction in my neighborhood
Oh.
right around the corner.
Oh, okay.
It's I can see it actually from my house, but
That's what that is.
um,
It's not that. I was just wondering what it was. It's all good. So you guys are playing. Your next gig is December 31st at the Barrel House South with Lullwater in Savannah, hometown show.
yes, sir.
And then you taking just kind of an extended break after that big European tour, and you'll start. You get back out on the road probably in the spring, in March, April.
We're doing January. We're starting up a run.
Oh, okay.
That'll be. I can't really say till we announce it, but it'll be West Coast or like Western.
Yeah.
We just did some East Coast, so we're trying to focus now towards the West for early next year, and keep pounding away at the tour schedules.
Well, it must be a lot of fun. You know, a lot of us, we don't even leave our house. Speaking for myself, you know, I haven't left the house in years. I have all my groceries delivered, and you know, you don't even want to know what I look like. But it's good when you do drop by in Austin, because I speak to you through a hole in the wall. No, that's not true. This, again, folks, is the Blah Blah Show.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. You can come on here if you're a listener. You got something to say, send me a comment. I'll call you up. I'll talk to you. We'll talk to you. If it's about music, if it's about something else, you want to talk about a cat up in your tree, whatever you want to do. We'll talk to grandmas. We'll talk to nieces. No nephews. We'll talk to, you know, most people of all ages. Any people of the age 11, we will not speak with you. But anyone beyond the age of 11 or below the age of 11 will speak with you. And if you are 11, we'll take you into consideration. No idea what I'm talking about. Well, Ted, I really appreciate you being on Blah Blah Show number 2. And we're going to go out now with Pacifier. They can be found at pacifiertheband.com. Look for those dates on the West Coast. look for the show coming up on the 31st here in Savannah, Georgia. If you're close or if you're not, make the drive. Why not? It's going to be a party. And we're going to go out with the latest thing you guys have put out, which is an older thing but a new thing. And I've been listening to this a lot in the car. And this is a remake, basically, of Feel It. Now, what's the mindset behind remaking Feel It?
While we were on tour in Europe, the booking agent, record label guy that brought us over there, Chris of Soulfire Artists, sent us an email and just said, I've been listening to your first record a bunch, and I think this song Feel It deserves sort of an upgrade.
I try, but still no luck. But I know one thing is right. My life, oh my sweet life, yeah, is an open book. It's an open book. So I ask myself, oh, when it comes to the end, and do I want to read it again? Throw it back upon the shelf. This is the story of yourself. So if you feel it, you gotta really feel it. You gotta hold on, hold on. I write this today just to tell you that it's okay to pray for the people that you love. Whether or not you think there is a God above, it's inside of us. Even if you're a fighter, gotta recognize the eternal fire within your soul and soul. Yeah. When you think that you have everything that you need, someone takes it away and you're left on your knees. You get by begging, change the police, know your name. It's the same thing again and again. When you reach to the sky, be coming with dirty your hands. When you see it with your eye, you can't believe it, man. They got a solution for every problem. You just wanna rob them again. So if you feel it, you gotta really feel it. You gotta hold on, hold on. So if you feel it, you gotta really feel it. You gotta hold on, hold on. You gotta really feel it. Ba-da-ba-ba. So if you feel it, you gotta really feel it. You gotta hold on, hold on.
All right, again, I really appreciate my little brother Ted Bound for coming on the show. Yeah, he's been painting this amazing cloud over the ocean, kind of a quad tick, if you will, 4 paintings that all connect. Play on words of a triptych. There probably is a word for a quad tick. Ted Bound on guitar and lead vocals, Nick Kubley on drums, Will Kubley on bass and vocals, and Mike de Guzman on the keys. And thanks a lot, guys, for making the music and taking the time out to make the world a happier place. You've been listening to the BlaBlaShow.com. Please leave a comment. And if you like what you hear, if you're in another country, you want to be on the show, if you're a musician, all I need is the rights, the legal permission to use your music. You are more than welcome to come on the show. There's no genre affiliation here. There's no, if it's good music, we play it, right? And if it's bad music, what do we do with it? Well, it probably won't make it on this show. No, that doesn't make sense. All music is welcome. It could be the worst music in the world. It could be as bad as this. Here, I'll leave you with a little bit of my own music that I recorded. Now, I know I can use that because I made it myself. If you like it, leave a comment. If you don't like it, leave a comment. So I don't like this. That song that you made on your show, BlaBlaShow.com, the show that doesn't make any sense, which you can find at BlaBlaShow.com or DailyNewsCollective.com. I'm John Bound. I have been your host for this radio event known as BlaBlaShow.com episode numero dos. Now I'm going to leave you with a song I wrote a while back called Title Bulge, just to show you that anything can be played on the show, but it helps if it's listenable, and it helps if it freaking rocks like Pacifier's music at pacifiertheband.com. All right. Good night, America. Good night, world. Good night, Japan. BlaBlaShow.com signing off. Here's Title Bulge as promised.
Yes, it's true. And if I ever see you again, you can bet your sweet loving cardinal sin that I bless my soul from your pain deep inside. Yes, it's true. Because you just can't buy my time. It's not for sale. You just can't buy my time. My title bulge.
Bonus.
silence.